Hello and welcome to the San Jose State Weekly Football Press Conference. Today is Monday, November 20th. Spartans return home for the finale of the 2017 season inside CEFCU Stadium at 2 o'clock this Saturday against Wyoming. Our pregame coverage on 1590 AM KLIV and the Spartan Radio Network beginning at 1:30 Pacific Time. Game will also be televised on ESPN3. A couple reminders before we bring on Coach Brennan. Tickets are available for this game, the final game of the season, 408-924-7589 or sjsuspartans.com. Also, a special recording day this week for the Brent Brennan Radio Show. We'll record that on Tuesday, so tomorrow from Gordon Biersch in downtown San Jose. Not Wednesday this week, but Tuesday for the Brent Brennan Show. And we will have a final press conference of the year next Monday after the Spartans take on Wyoming this Saturday. Let's welcome in San Jose State head coach Brent Brennan.
Hello, thank you for coming. First of all, obviously, respect and congratulations to Coach Bobo and the Colorado State team. They have a good team. Did a lot of good stuff in that game to beat us, and just want to give them credit. I think, as I look at that game, I think we definitely played better. Not good enough, not nearly good enough, but we played better. I think the biggest thing that I attribute that to is just the one turnover. That's been something that we have been killing ourselves with all season, and so I thought Montel did a better job throwing the football, and I thought he was better with his kind of presence in the pocket and protecting the football when stuff started to break down around him. Obviously it's a big week for us, getting ready for Wyoming. Want to offer congratulations to Frank Ginda. He was voted Academic All-District, which is really, really great, and he also broke the Mountain West regular season tackles record, which is just tremendous. He's a great kid, he's a great leader, and he's everything that you want a college football player to be. So congratulations to Frank. We love him, and we're very proud of him. All right, what we got?
Hey, Coach. Just keeping it on Frank. Obviously he broke the record, but have you personally got a chance to go up to him, speak to him, catch up with him, congratulate him?
Oh yeah, we talked yesterday. We talked after the game.
What was that like?
Frank is a really proud kid, and I think it shows in how he plays, and it shows in how he goes about preparing for every game. So I thought it was just really neat to see the smile on his face. He's definitely proud of what he's done. But there's also the part of him he's a team guy, and he knows we're not where we need to be as a team. And so it was a really good conversation we had in my office yesterday, and I'm just excited for him because he continues to play at a high level and continues to be a good leader for our team.
Hey, Coach, what do you think the team needs to do this week to be consistent on offense? After all, San Jose State scored first in its last two games and did not score again until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's, I think we just need to be more consistent across the board. When I look at that game, there was so many missed opportunities offensively. We had a couple vertical throws down the field, receiver is kind of fighting through contact, and we just need to be better at anticipating that contact and running through it for a chance to make some big plays down the field. I think we definitely need to run the ball a little more than we did last week. I know we had the big run, from Malik late in the game, but we need to be a little more consistent running the football. And I think for us, it comes down to Montel getting into a rhythm. I felt like he got a little bit comfortable, and so we started to see some really good stuff from him. And I think that's just part of his maturation process, which is, exciting and, painful at times. But he's learning, and I thought he improved last week.
Keeping it on Montel, a couple weeks ago, asked you about two games, 7 interceptions for Montel, and the progression of keeping him in there, letting him get those reps while at the same time really trying to balance that with his confidence level. What did you think of his preparation going into Colorado State, and then obviously just his overall performance and how he responded to that adversity from the 2 previous weeks?
Well, I thought he handled it pretty well. Even though it was late in that game, really, college football is such a game of momentum, and We dropped the touchdown pass on the first drive of the second half with a chance to grab some momentum and feel pretty fired up about kind of where it was going. And we drop a touchdown pass, and then the next pass is a tip interception, from the 6-yard line, And so, but I thought Montel handled all that really well. He's not the kind of guy that's, going to be upset with people. They drop his ball. I mean, he's going to handle it the right way. And so, as he grows, the previous weeks were obviously tough days for him. And I thought we did a little bit better job protecting him on Saturday, and then a better job with our scheme in terms of letting him get the ball out and getting a little rhythm going.
A little more on a serious note, last week, Bryce Crawford was in charge of punting. I was watching the game actually, on live, and the broadcasters were saying over and over again that Michael Carrizosa was out for a violation of team rules. Any surface level details on that, and also if we will see him for senior day?
You will see him for senior day, and the team rule stuff is, that's family business, and so that's where it'll stay.
Coach, another question on Montel. What are some of the areas in which he can improve on to become a better quarterback this week, and what can he do between now and next season to become a better quarterback?
It's a really big question. In terms of this week, I think, Montel can, be diligent, in here getting prepared, watching, what Wyoming does on defense, having a good understanding of how we're going to protect him and where the ball needs to go. They have an excellent defense. Their defensive line is one of the best we've played this year. They have linebackers who like to run and hit, and their secondary is mature and very, very good. So his preparation this week is going to be critical because he's going to be going against I don't know if they're the best defense in our conference, but they got to be close to the top. And so that's a challenge for him. He'll be in here every day, grinding on film, catching up with Coach Gunderson and getting him ready to lead us, on Saturday. The off season, I think, is all part of his, his growing process. This will be a critical off season for Montel. Going into a season when you are, we kind of had a 4-man fight for that position, and when you have that, you don't get as much, just throwing and catching with wideouts and quarterbacks, which is such a part of building that chemistry and that trust. And, Montel knowing where Trey Hartley's going to be, or Trey Walker, or whoever's playing out there, and so that's going to be a really big part of it, going into the off season. He's a guy that has to, in my opinion, absolutely has to be out in front of the team every day, leading the way with his work ethic, with his process in terms of studying film, watching tape, trying to improve.
Coach, Saturday in Colorado State, Tyler Nevins was just limited to 4 carries, 11 yards. Just the decision behind that. You guys got 2 touchdowns, but what kept him on the sideline for most of the game?
Tyler was hurt, and so we played the other guys.
Game at Colorado State last weekend, last road game of the year. College football is really a game that it can really be swayed and can look completely different depending on where it's played, who the home team is, all the elements, the crowd noise, all that stuff. You saw your team on the road several times this year. See any progression throughout the year, playing in lots of different varied types of elements, and just the growth on the road throughout the season?
Well, I think every road game is a different challenge, and having a road game against Nevada the week before, and then going and playing Colorado State, who was better, I thought, and it was a better crowd. They have a new stadium there at Colorado State. It's really nice, and I think with their new stadium they set their single season attendance record, and so. The crowd was a little bit different. That part of it, I thought our guys handled that much better. Getting seriously heckled on the sideline. They were getting creative. Our kids had to have thick skin, and they had to be mature because they were coming at them pretty good. So I saw some improvement there in terms of us just handling the environment. And then I think even though the score is not a great looking score, we played better. We played better in that game. And, if we can eliminate a couple of those missed tackles, on their tailback, who's an awesome player. I look at Jermaine Kelly holding Michael Gallup to 47 yards. Michael Gallup's as good of a wideout as there is in the country. Pac-12, whatever. He is outstanding. And Jermaine played great. We had a great plan for that. And so there's, in a game like that against a good opponent, a really veteran opponent like them, your margin for error is very small. And we miss a tackle or we drop a pass or, we block the wrong guy, you're going to pay for it. And that's a little bit what happened.
Coach, how will the running game look in the finale with the player who played with Tyler Nevins and Zamora Ziegler?
Well, I think the running back group is a group that we feel strongly about. It's been great to see Tyler emerge as kind of our go-to guy running the football. But, with him not being available last weekend, you saw really good stuff from Zamora Ziegler, from Packer, and from Malik Roberson. So I think that's a group that we feel good about. They all bring something a little different to the table, but you saw Zig catch a couple nice balls and run with it and big play and move us down the field. And Zig also had a big kickoff return in the game, which was exciting to see. So we feel great about that group. Whoever's ready and healthy and moving the ball down the field, that's who we're going to go with.
Obviously, senior day on Saturday, a dozen of them. What's something just you've learned as a head coach first year from the 12 of them?
Well, I think, anytime there's a staff transition, it's always challenging. It's always challenging, and the people that it is absolutely the most challenging for is your senior class and their families. And I just give credit to all these guys because they've battled through a really tough season. It's definitely not what any of us wanted for them, and I'm sure it's not what they wanted for themselves. And, so I just give them credit for, being bought in, playing their tails off till the final whistle every game. And, that's something that I think all of them can be proud of. We talk a lot about in this building, in this program, about life after football and battling through adversity, and they've all done that. They've all done just a great job of, battling through a really tough season, a season with, injuries and turnovers and a whole bunch of hard stuff, and then a new coaching staff, which was always hard, right? All these kids committed to a different staff and to different coaches. But to their credit, they've been great. They've been great, man. And, I'm excited for them to have their last day in Spartan Stadium. It's a memorable moment for everybody, and, it's one of those times in your life where you're like, wow, this is it. And I'm hoping that they play their tails off and just cut it loose and have fun out there.
Coach, aside from Frank Yenda, what do you think about how the defensive line played last Saturday?
Well, I think we definitely get a boost, with some of those guys being healthier. We got Bryson back for the second week in a row, Boogie back after he missed 2 games. And so, Losi has just been a warrior all season, just battling through, all kinds of, nicks and small stuff or, injury stuff. And so, I think that's a group that we're excited about. Those guys are returning. Those guys are guys that are going to be, leaders for our football team. And so, I think they played well at times. I think there's some plays they'd like to have back. But I thought it was some of the best D-line play we've had so far.
Going back to Ernie's question, talking about the seniors, just in general, last game of the year, what's the message to the entire team? You face a Wyoming team that's already going to a bowl game. There's nothing to play for in terms of conference standing with the championship game already figured out. Quarterback situation could either be Josh Allen's last regular season game or it could be Nick Smith again looking to avenge last week. What's the overall message going into this week against Wyoming?
To be honest with you, the message is the same for us every week. They need to play for these seniors. They need to play for each other. That's what it comes down to. And it's the last time that this football team, I told them last Saturday, this football team has 1 week left in its lifespan. And so how do you want it to end? How do you want to remember it? And, them playing for each other and them giving everything they got for each other, it has to be the most important thing. And, for this senior class that has played a lot of football here and given a lot back to the program, we need to send them out the right way.
Coach, again, obviously Wyoming this week, but very stingy defense to say the least. I mean,
Yep.
you touched on it already. 14th in the nation, 17-ish points a game. Is it kind of just the same? You say a lot about there's another opportunity to grow, another challenge, right? Same thing this week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now for us, every opportunity to play is a challenge. Every opportunity to play is a chance for us to get better, for guys to improve. I think anytime you're going against somebody who's as good as them, it's a chance to prove yourself and to show what you can do. And I think it's a great challenge for our players, a great challenge for our staff. And it's the last game we get to play for a really long time. And so, how much time and effort, how detailed can you be in your process of preparation? How much energy and effort and detail and discipline can we have in the practice environment tomorrow are all things that we got to be totally locked in on. Thank you.
All right, that's it for this week's press conference. Once again, San Jose State in the season finale at home this Saturday, the 25th, 2 o'clock against Wyoming from CEFCU Stadium on ESPN3. Our coverage on 1590 AM KLIV and the Spartan Radio Network begins at 1:30. Tickets are available at 408-924-7589 or sjsuspartans.com. And once again, the Brent Brennan Radio Show will not record on Wednesday this week, but it'll be a special Tuesday recording from Gordon Biersch in downtown San Jose. That does it for us this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.